Hi, I would like to introduce you to the great horses of Japan. I'm not very good at English, so there may be strange expressions, but please forgive me. This time is airgroove. She is a mare born in 1993. At a time when mares were not yet able to compete properly with male horses, she was more than evenly matched. Her father is the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winner Tony Bin. Her mother is Dyna Carl. Dyna Carl won the Oaks when she was in the field. And since she became a mare, she has produced many successful horses and some top-class names. In addition, her family has produced many Grade 1 winners. Airgroove is one of those horses. She was expected to be good at what she did from birth. The day after Airgroove was born, trainer Ito, who would later become her trainer, even said, "If this horse is a male, he will be a Derby horse." She made her debut in 1995 and finished second in her first race. But she won the next race easily, beating the second-place horse by 0.8 seconds. And the next race turned out to be a legendary one. But this was just an open race. Airgroove was blocked around her in the final straight. She was at such a disadvantage that she was forced to stand up and block the path on the last straight. Of course, she stalled a bit. Normally, many horses would lose the will to run here. But she was different. She regained her stance and accelerated again. Then she caught the horse in front of her. It's hard to find a horse that can win like this, and she's a mare. Her trainer saw her guts and was terrified. With 2 wins from 3 starts, she entered the Grade 1 Hanshin Juvenile Fillies, but could not catch the runner-up and finished second. The following year, she entered the Grade 3 Tulip show, which she won by 5 lengths. Now she was seen as the most likely candidate for the Triple Crown race for mares. However, while training for the Oka show, she developed a fever and decided to avoid the Oka show. Airgroove got her back in shape and went straight to the Oaks. It was a horse named Fight Gulliver who won the Oka show in the absence of Airgroove, and of course she ran in the Oaks. In the race, Airgroove got out early on the straightaway course. Fight Gulliver chased her down, but Airgroove held her off to win the race. With this, she became the second mother and daughter to win the Oaks. This was the first time this had happened in 42 years. After that she took a break and went straight to the Shuka show in October, one of the last of the Triple Crown races. She was in good shape, but the flash of the camera in the paddock excited her. She couldn't settle down and lost 10 places in the race. To make matters worse, a broken bone was found after the race. This fracture was probably one of the reasons for her loss. Her return to racing came in June of the following year. Her return race was the Grade 3 Mermaid Stakes. There was some concern because she was coming off a broken bone, but she won without any problems, impressing us with her resurgence. The next race was the Sapporo Kinen. There was a reason why this race had been chosen. Her big goal for the year was to win the 2000-meter Grade 1 Tenno Autumn in October. And Genun, the leading horse who was thought to be running in the Tenno, had entered the Sapporo Kinen. So, what kind of race will she be able to run against Genun in Sapporo Kinen, was important to her. This was the first time she had raced against a top-class male horse. The race was won by airgroove. Her target, Genun, was defeated in 4th place. Neither of them was in the best condition yet. However, the result of this race was enough for her to be judged as a viable contender for the Tenno. 2 months later, on the day of the Tenno Autumn race, airgroove's trainer was confident that he had put her in top condition for the first time. Genun was here, too. The previous year's champion, Bubblegum Fellow, also came out to try to win again. In the final stretch, Bubblegum Fellow was the first to break away. Then airgroove attacked from the outside. Genun was late. The result of the race was a power struggle between Bubblegum Fellow and airgroove. It was a tough result, but airgroove had a slight lead at the end. Genun finished third, 5 lengths behind the front two. Airgroove became the first mare to win the Tenno in 17 years. Also, the Tenno Autumn was shortened from 3,200 meters to 2,000 meters in 1984, and she was the first mare to win the race since it went to 2,000 meters. A month later, she came close to winning the Japan Cup, but Pilsudski overtook her and she finished second. As a side note, Pilsudski had an erection in the paddock. It's been said that when a horse gets an erection, he loses focus on the race. As a result, many people who saw him made the decision not to buy his ticket. But he had won. Despite the fact that he is a foreign horse and has only run once in Japan, he seems to be very popular with Japanese racing fans because of this episode. Let's go back to airgroove. She entered the Grand Prix Arima Kinen after the Japan Cup. Again, she fought well, but was overtaken by a horse coming from behind and finished in 3rd place. She was chosen as the Horse of the Year for her performance that year, with 3 wins in 5 races, 1 second place and 1 third place, and for her ability to race evenly with male horses. This is the first time in 26 years that a mare has been selected as Horse of the Year. The following year it was announced that she would be retiring at the end of that year. Her first race was the Osaka Cup in April. The yearling Double Crown mare, Majiro Dobel, also ran in the race, but airgroove won. In the next race, Naruto Kinen, she could not cope with the muddy ground and finished in 2nd place. In the next race, Takarazuka Kinen, she was up against Silence Suzuka. She chased hard on the straightaway course, but finished in 3rd place. She didn't take the summer off. She then entered the Sapporo Kinen, just like the previous year. Because of her large winnings, she had to carry a burden weight of 58 kilograms, but she overtook the fleeing Silent Hunter in the stretch to win this race again. After that, She bypassed the Tenno show because Silence Suzuka would run in the Tenno show autumn and chose the Queen Elizabeth Cup in November. I don't know if this choice was the right one. However, it is true that there was a sad accident at the Tenno show. In the Queen Elizabeth Cup, airgroove was not in the best condition and was a little slow on the straight track. The winner was Majiro Dobell, and airgroove was a close third. She had been running evenly with the males, but in this race she was behind the mares for the first time in almost 2 years. 2 weeks later, she ran in the Japan Cup. Here were the horses that were called the strongest generation, in other words, Special Week and El Condor Passer. The race was dominated by Japanese horses, but airgroove came in second. The winner was El Condor Passer, who would later finish second in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. In the Arima Kinen, her retirement race, she finished fifth, partly due to a horseshoe falling off. The winner was another of the strongest generation, Glass Wonder. Airgroove retired, having won 9 of 19 races, finishing second 5 times and third 3 times. She won only 2 Grade 1 races, the Oaks and the Tenno show autumn, but her working life was more intense than that. She became a mare in 1999, and sired her first foal by Sunday Silence, the top stallion of the time. This little mare was eventually sold at an auction for 230 million yen. She was named Admire Groove and had a successful career, winning the Queen Elizabeth Cup. Furthermore, Admire Groove gave birth to Duramente. Duramente was the Double Crown winner in 2015. This marked the 4th consecutive generation since Dyna Carl to win a Grade 1 race. In addition, Rulership, born in 2007, won the Queen Elizabeth II Cup in Hong Kong. Other than that, the 2006-born Forgettable was active, winning 2 graded races over 3,000 meters. Born in 2008, Gyuruvig won the Grade 3 Mermaid Stakes and is now a broodmare. In this way, airgroove was also a successful mother. Unfortunately, she died of internal bleeding after giving birth to a foal named Chopin in 2013. She was 20 years old. Also, Admire Groove died prematurely a year before airgroove did. So far, I think airgroove has left behind 5 broodmares and 2 stallions. And then there's Admire Groove's foals. Let's hope for their future success. That's all for this time. If you want to know more about Japanese horses, subscribe to this channel. Thank you.